vacant. Vacant for leaders who believe and practice humility. It is vacant. It's a vacant position when a leader always is offering to be humble, to be simple. Welcome to Marketplace Believers, an online platform where we engage, or actually where we share insights that actually engage, equip, and encourage believers to be useful in business, in leadership, and in civil service. My name is John Kimani. Now, how is it possible for a leader to be able to live a holy life, a pure life, a credible life, a life of integrity, a life that pleases God, without practicing what we call impunity? How is that possible? And the answer is leaders need to remain humble. They must dress themselves in the cloth that is called humility. And when we look at the life of Daniel, especially after interpreting the dream, we realize that Daniel was actually humble. And we see in chapter 2 verse 19, after God revealed the dream to him, and something that the wise men had actually failed, and actually saving the lives of the wise man and his friends, that is Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, actually, Daniel praises God. He exalts God. He gives thanks to God who have been able to reveal the dream to him. And even when he goes before the king, and the king is so happy, he says, I'm told that you're able to interpret the dream. Daniel actually says, not me, but there is God who is able to reveal mysteries. In other words, he does not give credit to himself. He actually acknowledges God. He attributes his ability to get the dream not on himself, not on his ability, but on God. And every time when I think about this, allow us to share three things that can help us to remain holy by being humble. Number one, we must learn to give credit to others immediately. Once before the sweat dries up on the brow or on the face of the worker, please appreciate them, give them, thank them, and thank them profusely, and thank them immediately. Daniel did not claim that he was the one who was able to know the dream. No, he said, it is not me, it is God. And he did it right there without wasting time. And once God revealed the dream to him, he knelt before God immediately, even before he went to the king to tell him the dream. And I think this is very important. We propose that this is very important, that as leaders we need to be thanking people almost immediately once they have done the task. We don't need to waste a day. We don't need to waste an hour, without thanking them. We need to tell them thank you very much for the good things that they have done. Number two, we also need to refuse to take credit immediately. Once Arioch presented Daniel to the king was so excited that there is somebody finally who is able to know the dream and also give the interpretation. He was like, wow, what a guy. I'm told you are the professional, you are a pro when it comes to interpreting the dream. But Daniel is like, oh, no. It has nothing to do with me. Right there again, he does not allow the king to credit him for things that he did not do. And humble people refuse to take appreciation. And they do it with a lot of humility, because they do not want people to think it is them. They don't want people to see themselves, to have an inflated image about themselves. They do not want people to think bigger than they are. They want to remain simple. They want to remain people simple, not high up there. When people are thinking like you are super God, like you can fix every problem, that is wrong. So Daniel does not accept credit that is not due. And you're not saying that you don't appreciate when people tell you thank you, but what we are saying is this: if it has nothing to do with you, if there's little that you did to become successful, please don't take credit. And again, even as you take the credit, if you must take the credit, always say thank you very much, but it is because of so and so. The reason why we are successful is because of so and so. When they give you a present, or they give you a reward for whatever it is that you've done, always learn to say yes, thank you very much, but why it not for the efforts of X, why it not for the effort of Y, why it not for the effort of so and so, we will not have achieved this. And again, always learn to speak in plural as a way of refusing to take credit personally. Okay, and then number 3, ask for help immediately. Once Daniel met with Arioch, who was ready to kill him or to chop off his neck. Now, and after petitioning him, actually asking him for to see the king so that he can be given some time to pray and give the answer to the king. And we think, as civil servants, we must be bothered when other fellow servants are going through problems. We must be bothered by unfriendly proposals or policies that are given in our workplace. We must get bothered. We must get bothered when the political class issues things or policies or directives that are actually hampering or actually hindering the growth or hindering economy or actually hindering the lives of other people. We must get concerned. And that is, by the way. But again, we see that Daniel, after being presented with this Herculean task, what does he do? He goes back to his friends, to his inner circle, and what does he do? He shares the problem. And friends, we must have a connection. We must have a network. We must have an inner circle. We must have some close friends, some network that we can be able to pour out the struggles, the challenges, or the problems that we go through. And this kind of network, this kind of inner circle is not necessarily to gossip or a self-pity party. Far from it, no. But is a kind of a group, is an inner circle that actually looks at the problem and proposes ways of overcoming the problems. Now, for this, for Daniel and his inner circle, for them it was a prayer circle. They joined together. They thought they talked about the problem, but again they said, okay, let's go before God. Let's ask him to reveal the dream to us, so that he can save our lives, he can save our careers, and so that we can continue to serve this pagan king. Now, for some people, given the same opportunity, they would have said, okay, let us die. After all, we are in a foreign land, let us die. Okay, for some people, they would have said, what do we do? What do we do about this? But for them, they asked for help immediately. And we need to say this, that God has given each one of us a very huge assignment, that he does not expect you to do it single-handedly. And so it is very important for us to be able to seek help. It is very important for us to go out there, look for people with like-mindedness, people who have the same convictions, who have the same power, who have the same calling, who have the same burden, so that we can share with them, and so that we can be able to accomplish that which God has called us to do. So remember, we need to be humble, and we need to act in a humble way. And we are saying there are 3 things in which we've said we can be humble, is that by giving credit to others immediately. It is very important that you learn to give credit to others, even for small things. Even for small things. As a CEO of a company, please learn to thank your house girl for bringing tea to you. As a wife, please learn to appreciate your husband, that he always comes. Yes, sometimes he may not be perfect, she may not be perfect, but there are small things that he or she does. You need to be grateful. As a pastor, instead of complaining about the praise and worship team, instead of complaining about the piano guy, learn to appreciate. There are those times that he comes and praise him, thank him for the way he plays the keyboard. As a father, father, as a mother, your son, your daughter might be crazy, might be doing small things, but thank God that he doesn't call you by your name. At least he calls you dad or he calls you mom. And even when he is crazy, he does those crazy things. Sometimes he comes home and he eats the food or whatever it is. Let us learn to give thanks, and then again, let us refuse to take credit, and especially if doing so will make other people to be discouraged. It is mannerless when you in a housewarming ceremony, when people come as a husband and they tell you what a nice house you've built. It's the most magnificent house we've ever seen, and your wife is just standing next to you. Always say, why it not for the encouragement of my wife? Why it not for the encouragement of my brother? Why it not for the encouragement of my senior? Why it not encouragement of so and so? I will not have come this. And that is one of the kind ways of accepting, of refusing to take credit. Dr. Judy Karanja, together with Apostle Farid Africa, thank you for joining. And then finally, we are saying, learn to ask for help. Learn to ask for help. The vision, the dream, the project that God has given to you cannot be accomplished single-handed. It's so huge. It's a Herculean task. You cannot do it alone. And so, my brother, my sister, you really need to ask for help. Don't feel embarrassed. Don't feel humiliated if you ask for help. Ask people to help you. Ask somebody to drive you. Ask somebody to do your notes. Ask somebody to set the camera for you. Ask somebody to carry your Bible, because you cannot do all these things by yourself. And so it is very important for us to do those things, because God is looking for men and women who are humble. Remember, the moment you become arrogant, the moment you become full of yourself, the moment when you talk too much about yourself, the moment you feel too big for other people, remember, God is going to reduce you to something insignificant, and actually is going to demote you and bring you down. That was this is Marketplace Believers, an online platform that actually encourages, equips, and equips believers to be useful in marketplace and in business, in politics. Thank you for the wonderful comments. I see Ruth Kuria there. She is saying hello, tuned in. We encourage you to go to our YouTube, Inawezekana TV, the Voice of Hope. And please subscribe in that channel. And until next week, such a time as this, my name is John Kimani. Have a blessed night.